Well, Livezone Specialized Vehicle is not only known for building RVs. We also can convert regular passenger cars into specialized vehicles, hence the special purpose name. In the past couple of decades, we have been focusing on recreational vehicles. Although we can and have been modifying passenger cars into specialized vehicles as well, such as police cars, rescue vehicles, and field job vehicles, on-site construction vehicles. Today we are in Horgos in Xinjiang province, which is right at the border next to Kazakhstan. And we are visiting some of our potential partners to export specialized vehicles. And here they have a huge lot full of new cars. And potentially we can modify them all for them to be categorized as specialized vehicle and export them. They have most of them are Chinese cars. There are a few Hondas and Toyotas in the mix, but it's really not limited to anything. There are some Chang'ans, some Fords, there's a few Lotuses as well here. Lotus SUVs. The Lotus ML, I think. Honda's Cherries, Zeekr, which is a Chinese luxury brand owned by Geely. For us to be exporting them, it has to be a bulk order. If it's just one or a few vehicles, it's not worth our while. So if you're interested in bulk exporting, Hello, welcome to the stream. We are Livezone specialized vehicles. We can modify regular passenger cars into special purpose vehicle and export them in large quantities, of course. In theory, nothing is, there isn't a limit on what kind of vehicle the base vehicle has to be. You might know us from, the RV channel, but RV is only part of our business. We have been modifying specialized vehicle for quite a long time as well. We're in Horgos today, which is a border city in China, in Xinjiang province, right next to Kazakhstan. It's one of the largest land-based port in China, and if you're in the Central Asia region or in the Russian region, if you're interested in modified vehicles for off-roading purposes or field job purposes, if you have, well, we can discuss how large the order quantity have to be, but hello. There's a couple of Geelys, Zeekr, Jector, which is cherry. That seems to be the parking lot. We are properly licensed for modifying vehicles, and we have been exporting as well. We have been exporting police cars and a few others. Li Auto is quite popular. There's a huge fleet of Hongqi and okay.有几个人？要不我播会儿吧？行了，我去后边转去了啊。You might see these little trucklets, these Wuling Hongguans. They're quite the infamous cars. It's like the workhorse of China. There's a few Toyotas, Hongqi. For example, we can turn a Great Wall SUV, like a Tank 300, 500. Those are pretty popular off-road vehicles, expedition vehicles. And we can turn them into more adventurous-ready cars. All the platforms, tents, all the utilities can be equipped, so they can be categorized as a special purpose vehicle. As you know, China is really cracking down on new cars exporting as used. So, in some way, quite a lot of these brand new cars stockpiled right right by the border are stuck here because they are new cars and they are not from directly from the manufacturer, from the assembly plant. They are just brokers trying to exporting them as used vehicles. So one of the actually that's the only way left is to modify them for them to become a specialized vehicle, or you get the certification directly from the manufacturer, which is incredibly difficult. So that's where we can come in. We are a properly licensed modifying company. So after we're done with them, they are not regular passenger cars in China. Well, they won't be categorized as regular passenger cars in China. They'll become special purpose vehicle. So those used vehicles rules do not apply anymore, and we can export them as new specialized vehicle. And that's what we're here to do. We're in Horgos, a border city in Xinjiang. We're here to meet a few interested parties. If you are interested importing specialized vehicles, specialized new Chinese cars, you're welcome to contact us. We have WhatsApp, we have email in the bio. You can check them out, send us an email, get us in touch. Well, I haven't talked to anyone here, but I think these are all new. Well, they were intended to be exported as used cars, but since the new rule, these are all stuck here. So one of their main one of their solution is to contact us. We can modify them and we can ship them out. Of course, there's a minimum order quantity. If it's just a couple of vehicles, that's not going to be worth it. We're talking like at least a couple of dozens, you know. Chang'an, Li Auto, Geely, Cherry, those are really popular exporting cars. And a few Hondas and Toyotas. There were a few Chevrolets as well, I believe. One of our potential partners told us. Excuse me. Hello? You shoot YouTube. Hi, welcome. I believe lots of them are hybrids, or so they call new energy vehicles, so hybrids and EVs, pure EVs. I think most of them are hybrids or gas. Oh, this is a dead end. Now let's go back. As you may know, China is currently the largest auto exporter. So there are lots of opportunities to be captured. if you'd like new vehicles from China, there are only two ways now. One is get them directly from the manufacturer, which is incredibly difficult, which is almost impossible. The used car route has been shut off, so that is a no-go. And the only other way left is from someone like us, a modifying company. We turn them into specialized vehicles. So the new car rule and the used car rule does not apply to us anymore. Of course, you can. It has to be actually useful modification. It can't be like, oh, I just put a livery on it and call it a day. That's not gonna work. You know, our government is not that dumb. So it has to be something. The modification has to make sense, basically. If it's a field job vehicles, you know, we expect it to have tools, toolboxes, power, inverters, all the kind of stuff. If it's for tourism, for off-roading, you know, you might expect it to have, you know, tents, cooking utensils, that kind of stuff. So they're not regular passenger cars anymore, but, you know, you can still get them, which is the point. And depending on your local customer needs, we can tailor-make solutions for you. And we can, you know, also, you know, if what they really want is just a regular car, you know, we can take all the modification off once it's there, once they're arrived in the destination country. So this is only one lot, one company. There are hundreds, maybe, I want to guess, hundreds of these small car exporting brokers just in this one city. As you can see, all these vehicles that are stuck here. Maybe I can try to figure out when they are made. The Chang'an commuter car, Econo box, and some Dongfengs, some Chang'ans. These are all hybrids, I believe. So far, no one has actually exported, you know, in any large quantities. No one has ever exported these specialized vehicles. There are a few that are gently modified, lightly modified. So, you know, it's obviously just to, they're just trying to be a smart ass. So when we are saying specialized vehicles, the modification has to be, every modification have to have a purpose, and it can't be just cheaply done. It can't be just obviously trying to circumvent regulations. So that means, well, they probably won't be looking like regular cars. They probably have some roof racks, something hanged in the rear, in the trunk, something in the trunk probably. Hello, welcome to our live stream. You might know us as the RV maker, recreational vehicles, but that is one of our most important business. But we also modify passenger cars, turning them into specialized vehicles, so they can be exported without the direct certification from the manufacturer, which is one of the only ways left for someone to be exporting or importing Chinese vehicles, new Chinese vehicles. There's a new regulation in place that all Chinese new cars within the first 6 months can't be exported as used cars. There's a couple of Volkswagen here. So no new vehicles exporting as used cars. That door is almost shut. So that's where we can come in. We can modify them, turn them into specialized vehicles. So those rules are no longer applied. So one way is to be getting certifications directly from the manufacturer. For example, you want an Li Auto L6, you go to Li Auto, you tell them I want to export this car. Can I have certifications? They're probably telling no, because they have a quota on those as well. Let's say one manufacturer, they might have only a dozen if it's a large automaker. So it's incredibly difficult to get the certification from the automaker. And the other way is, you turn to us. We will modify them, tune them up, maybe even for off-roading use, for camping use, for field job use. Hello. So currently we are in Horgos, a Chinese border city. I think these are all new cars waiting for 6 months to be turned into used cars, and then they can be legally exported, which is a very timely and inefficient process. And the Chinese government is trying to stop new cars being exported as used. So they are, to shut down tax evasions. So one of the other way is to find someone like us, a modifying company. We can turn passenger cars into specialized vehicles. So those new cars, used cars rules does not apply. Of course, there has to be a minimum order quantity. If you, let's just wait it out. If you are interested, you can find our email in the bio. You can find our WhatsApp there. Let's say for the thing to become worth it, it has to be a few dozen vehicles. We won't take any orders like one car or 3 cars, anything like that. There has to be a economy of scale here. We're currently in talk with a few potential clients, which is why we're here today at the Chinese border. This is only one lot of many different companies. So that is a really burning question on their ass as to how to get these stock out. Since their usual way is being shut down. Oh, it's already shut down. And from what we were discussing with one of our traditional partner, well, he is mostly in the Kazakhstan auto export business. For example, Chevrolet, there is a assembly plant there, but they're only making slightly outdated vehicles. Well, the Chinese-made cars, Chinese-made Chevrolets there are more models. There's more range. Well, they're mostly small sedans and SUVs, but there's more variety. China is the largest auto exporter today in the world. So there is quite a selection. Whether you want sedans, SUVs, off-roaders, pickup trucks. We just saw a couple of Ford Rangers over there. Gasoline vehicles, diesel vehicles, hybrids, electric vehicles. You can find everything here. Vans, trucks, little trucklets like those. Oh, this is a work truck. Anyway. You might know us as the RV maker. Our RVs are mostly based on Great Wall chassis, GWM chassis. We are a spin-off from GWM, Great Wall Motors. So we are quite familiar with Great Wall's platform and their vehicles. And their off-roaders are quite popular here. They have been leading in sales in terms of off-roaders for quite a long time, ever since the tank series went out. So the tank 300s, 500s, 400s, those kind of stuff. You know, it used to be when it comes to rough terrains and hard to reach part of the world, it is always Land Cruisers and Jeeps, that kind of vehicles. Right now, within China, of course, it's usually tanks, 300s or 500s. So they have been quite successful. And we have lots of experience modifying those cars. We turn them into police patrol cars, and we can turn them into fire response cars. And of course, the trucks, we have been modifying their trucks for forever, for 25 some years. So if you like great wall vehicles, and that is great news. You have found the proper channel. Us in the past, we have. What was I talking about? I forgot. Chevrolet, Audi, Leap Motor, which is quite a success story these years. Excuse me. All models and this seems to be it. As you can see, this is quite a large parking lot. Hello, viewers. There's no RVs today. Today we're in Horgos, a Chinese border city. We're on a business trip to discuss specialized cars export with a couple of potential partners. We do not only make recreational vehicles, although in the past all of our videos and our live streams have always been motorhomes and camper vans, camper trucks. We have a long history of modifying passenger cars as well, turning them into police cars, ambulances, fire response trucks, emergency rescuing vehicles, that kinds of stuff. Although those are mostly B2B side of our company, so it's not heavily advertised. But this is potentially a great opportunity for auto exporters and auto modifiers like us. The used car exporting route has been shut down. You can't export new cars as used cars anymore. There's a 6-month wait period, so that's quite a headache for all of the car exporters here in China. So the only two ways left is to either get the official certification directly from the manufacturer, which is impossible, or two, you go to someone like us, an auto modifier. We turn them into specialized vehicles, and those used car rules do not apply anymore. We can legally, properly export new specialized vehicles. We can turn into, in theory, any regular passenger car into a specialized vehicle. So that's the only other viable route. The modification have to make sense. It has to fit for the purpose. It can't be lightly modified. Those will be shut down as well. Actually, there are already cases where lightly modified passenger cars being shut down by the Chinese customs. So don't try to fool the Chinese custom. They'll obviously see the cracks, see that you're trying to cheat the system. So the modification have to fit the purpose, whether it is for recreational purpose, for camping, for off-roading, for emergencies, for rescuing. Our top candidates are going to be Great Wall Motors vehicles, of course. The trucks, the Great Wall Powers, which is similar to this Ford Ranger, which is also built in China. And also the off-roaders, the Tank 300s and the 500s. Those are more of your Jeep Wrangler and Toyota Land Cruiser's competitor. What can turn them into specialized vehicles, for example, an off-roader or a food inspection truck. Those are easier to be done. Those can be easily done, well, relatively comparing to other more specialized vehicles. So reach us by email in the bio or WhatsApp. We can discuss what the clients need, what your local demand is, and what vehicles and what kind of modification is best fit for the job. In theory, we can modify any make and model, as long as it's not a chassis cab. You know, those ladder chassis, those we cannot be done. As long as it's a complete vehicle, it's possible. There's just rows and rows of new cars parked everywhere here, and not just in this compound. They're everywhere, and they are all stuck because they are new cars. They have to wait 6 months for them to be categorized as used. So it's really uncomfortable news for all the auto exporters. Or come to us. We modify them, and then it can just go. It can just leave the border. You might not even need to ship the vehicle to our factory. Depending on where the cars are going, we can just set up a more rudimentary shop right in the border city, or even in the duty-free zones. If it's not that complicated of a modification, it can be easily done. So it's really going to be efficient and simple. Look at all of them. Just sitting here gathering dust. like I said, you might know us as the Great Wall Camper Company. Indeed, we are closely associated with Great Wall, so their cars would be a best fit for exporting as specialized. So tanks, 300s, 500s, those are the off-roaders. The Power Series pickup trucks, those are really popular choices as well. And there are huge modifying potentials. So one of the really interesting modification that we discussed with our partner is to put a truck lid, those covers, not a tonneau cover, but a proper roof cover on the pickup truck. So essentially turning a truck into a SUV with a really big enclosed bed for weatherproofing. Those are really in high demand in the Central Asia region. So something like that could be done. Of course, the bed cover isn't the only thing that has to be fitted. We have to fit some other equipments for it to be categorized as a specialized vehicle. It can't just be a cover. So that wouldn't pass the inspection by the Chinese custom. There has to be actual specialized tools. But when the car arrives there, or we can build something the customer actually want, or we can, when the cars arrive there, we can uninstall those tools and turn them into regular trucks again. That's another option as well. So it can become really flexible depending on your need. Those are all up for discussions. And of course, it has to be a large order quantity. We're looking at a couple of dozens. It would be nice. If it's just a handful of vehicles, that's harder to negotiate because we do have to type approval of them in China as well, even though they are for exporting. So there's a cost associated. So the larger the order, of course, the lower the average cost will be. So that's something should be mentioned. that I have to do for today. I think I pointed everything out. Might make a video in the future to explain the situation. Hello, people. No camper today, and we're in a border city in China.